Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. Jeffrey Cooperstein here with you guys. Hope everyone had a great weekend. And let's jump right into the latest news that happened over the weekend. And Shams Charania reported that the Mavericks and Cooper Flagg have a private workout scheduled for June 17th, next Tuesday, 8 days from now. And that's an extremely positive sign because that means Cooper Flagg is officially coming in to Dallas. He's going to get in front of the Mavericks coaching staff and the performance staff and get to meet some of the players currently on the roster and is going to take his first step into being a Dallas Maverick. And just to add on to that, the Mavs have no plan to work out any other prospects. They don't have any other formal visits scheduled either. So Cooper Flagg is going to be the pick at number one, guys. And I know that comes as a sigh of relief to me. Maybe just because it's the pessimist in me, but I still had that 5% that the Mavericks would somehow mess this up. But all signs are pointing to Cooper Flagg becoming a member of the Dallas Mavericks, so that is an extremely positive sign as well. And more from Shams Charania on Flagg and the Mavs. He said Flagg is not planning on conducting any additional visits, sources said, and both sides are aligned on his arrival as the number one pick in Dallas, where he will both step into a significant role and have a chance to immediately contend for a playoff appearance alongside several key veterans. And like I said, while this was widely expected, it's still good to hear and have that confirmation that the Mavs aren't really looking anywhere else. They're not looking to trade the pick. They're not looking to draft anyone else. Cooper Flagg is going to be the guy for the Mavs 2 Wednesdays from now when the NBA draft takes place. And look, I can't lie. I was worried the Mavs would mess this up. And I feel like the Luka trade gave me PTSD on how this front office is going to operate. So I didn't trust them whatsoever that they were going to end up taking the easy way out and drafting Cooper Flagg. But it looks like that's what they're going to do, and they are getting a guy who's ready to play right now in the NBA. Cooper Flagg last season at Duke was one of the best players in college basketball, won the Player of the Year, averaged almost 20 a night, shot 48% from the field and 38.5% from three, impacted the game positively on the defensive end for Duke as well. So this is a no-brainer pick for me. And the way that Cooper Flagg played at Duke, the way that he's conducted himself all throughout the pre-draft process. Some are calling Flagg the best Duke freshman ever, and that includes the likes of Jason Tatum, the likes of national champion Jahlil Okafor, those kind of guys. Cooper Flagg won Player of the Year. Mike Krzyzewski said he was the best Duke freshman he ever saw, and that's quite an annoyance coming from Coach K. So very excited to see Cooper Flagg go from the blue and black and white of Duke to the blue and white of the Dallas Mavericks. Cannot wait to see Cooper Flagg become a Dallas Maverick. And if you can't wait for Cooper Flagg to become a Dallas Maverick, hit that like button for me. It's a free and easy way to help out the channel. We're going to be talking Cooper Flagg all off season long. He's the new star coming to Dallas. That's going to be their big acquisition this off season. So if you want more Cooper Flagg content, hit that like button right now. My goal for today's show is to get to 300 likes on this video. And also, we do have Mavs draft hats available for you guys. These are the official draft hats that people who are selected by the Mavericks, Cooper Flagg, are going to be wearing there at the 2025 NBA draft. You can just go to chatsports.com/Mavs draft right now to get yours today. We have the dope blue, the white with the blue brim. Both of these look sick. I might get both of them myself. Help us out. Our friends at Fanatics got you covered. Go to chatsports.com/Mavs draft and get your Mavs draft hat today. Fanatics will send us a part of the proceeds if you guys use that link to go purchase your draft hat, so do so today. Shout out to Fanatics for sponsoring today's show. All right, let's get to the latest on Jason Kidd, and there's been some conflicting reports, some different information out there, but the latest that I have been seeing over the last 24 hours is that the Mavericks are expected to reject a formal approach, from the Knicks to interview Jason Kidd. Now, that doesn't mean that the Knicks cannot hire Jason Kidd. It just means that the Mavericks would reject the approach from the Knicks. However, I do think Jason Kidd could end up with an extension from the Dallas Mavericks, and he ends up staying here. Tim McMahon put out the idea that he could have a restructured extension with more money owed to him over the next couple of years or so, and that wouldn't surprise me at all if he ended up staying in Dallas with more money. If Jason Kidd really did want to go to the Knicks, though, he would have to forfeit the 2 years left on his contract at almost $20 million. I believe he's making $8 million plus per season over the next 2 years. So if he really wanted to, he could resign as the Mavericks coach, forfeit the final 2 years and however much money is left on the deal, and then he could sign a new deal with the New York Knicks. But I would wager that as unlikely. And as I've mentioned over the last couple of shows, when this rumor has kind of popped up. I think Jason Kidd's the right guy to lead the Mavericks right now with the current roster construction of Kyrie, Anthony Davis, and Klay Thompson, alongside bringing Cooper Flagg into this new era of Mavericks basketball. I do think for at least the next 2 seasons, for the duration of his contract, he is the right guy. And look, man, I know people can say what they will about Kidd and the lack of X's and O's and the lack of in-game adjustments that Jason Kidd ends up making, but there is something to be said for the guys wanting to play for him. And as it seems, Kyrie and Anthony Davis, they only want to play for Jason Kidd as the head coach if they're in Dallas. If Jason Kidd's not the head coach, who knows what those two guys are thinking. They both have great relationships with Kidd. AD's dating back from his time in Los Angeles. Kyrie idolized Jason Kidd growing up in New Jersey as a player. So these guys have long-standing relationships with Jay Kidd, and I think that he's the right guy to lead this team going forward, at least into next season and the season after that. And another reason to keep him, if you didn't need any more of them, you don't want to begin a coaching search this late in the offseason. We're 2.5 weeks away from the NBA draft. The Mavericks, or the Knicks, as it stands, are the only head coaching vacancy right now. I don't think you want to start a head coaching search this late in the offseason. I know you're getting Cooper Flagg, and you know that you're doing that, but that could cause absolute chaos within the organization. Like I said, Kyrie has that June 24th opt-out, and if Jason Kidd ends up leaving before, who's to say Kyrie doesn't opt out and go explore his options in free agency? You do not want to start a coaching search this late in the offseason if you are Nico Harrison and Patrick Dumont. With free agency just around the corner, I know the Mavericks are going to be limited in free agency. You just don't want that amount of uncertainty surrounding the organization heading into a pivotal offseason for this team to try to get back into contention in the Western Conference. I think Jason Kidd's going to be here for at least the duration of his contract. I think he'll end up with an extension of sorts, maybe a slight raise as well to make him one of the highest paid coaches in the NBA. And you know what? The Mavericks can afford it. Patrick Dumont's worth $33 billion. So if they want to overpay Jason Kidd and give him $11 million a year to be the coach of the team, just do it and get it over with. You just don't want to have the risk of letting Jason Kidd walk to the New York Knicks and having to deal with that on top of all the offseason moves that you have to do in the coming days and weeks. Let me know down in the comment section before we get on out of here. Do you think Jason Kidd will be the Mavericks head coach? Give me a simple yes or no if you think Kidd will be on the bench next season. I think it's going to be a yes, but of course we'll keep you up to date if anything happens surrounding Kidd. That's why you hit that subscribe button. Couple of items before we get on out of here. I saw this circulating on Twitter over the weekend. The new Mavericks City Edition jerseys were potentially leaked. Now, if you remember, this was the same uniform the Mavericks wore in the 2021 season with the Real Madrid color waves with the white and the gold. Kristaps Porzingis on that team as well. I can't remember if that was 21 or 22. I think one of those 2 years. But anyways, this is the same design, just a darker grayish, almost black with the stripes on the side. I think it looks really fresh. If this ends up being the Mavs City Edition jersey, I'd be very happy with Nike for the job they did on that one. And then I want to show some love to Mavs legend Don Nelson, who received the Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award for his efforts in the NBA. Longtime coach of the Dallas Mavericks, longtime coach of the Golden State Warriors, been around the league for absolute ever. The Mavs GM, his son, Donnie Nelson, was obviously a Mavs legend as well for 20 years. So Don is a Mavs legend. He's the second best coach in Mavericks history, next to the guy standing next to him in Rick Carlisle. And Luka posted this on his Instagram story, as Luka and the Nelsons have a close relationship. He said, "Congratulations, coach. Nice shoes." It's weird seeing that along with both Don Nelson and Rick Carlisle in that photo. But Nelson also expressed his dismay at the Mavericks for trading Luka. So it's not just me. I'm not just the one beating the dead horse. Don Nelson, the Hall of Fame coach, is saying it as well. So you can get mad at Don Nelson. You can get mad at me. Get mad at whoever you want. But I'm never going to get over the trade. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry. I can't help you. That's going to be it for today's show, guys. Appreciate you for tuning in to Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. Hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/MavsTV. If anything happens regarding Jason Kidd throughout the week, you know where to find it. It's right here on the channel.